In this video, I want to talk about how the equal sign is used in Python programming. Now, we've already went over variables, and this is going to lead into our next topic, which is conditional statements, boolean statements, things like that. So when you use the equal sign, say for a variable, say x equals blue. When you do x equals blue, and we'll hit print, that is literally, the equal sign is literally assigning the value blue to x. But when you say you have double equal signs, that is comparing one and another. For example, I'll show you. Say you have x equals 18, b equals 20. If x is equal to b, and remember, whenever you use a semicolon, you're pretty much connecting, it's pretty much an extension to the next block of code. It's combining the two. Print true, else print false. As you can see, it prints false. So if, else, these are conditional statements. Pretty much these are depending on the comparison of the variables. If it's true, if it's equal to, greater than, not equal to, it pretty much affects the way that the program will go. So you have this equal to sign. Pretty much is saying if x is equal to b, print true, else print false. And obviously x is not equal to b. Now, say you have the greater than sign. If x is greater than b, print true, else print false. Once again, x is not greater than, 18 is not greater than 20. Now, say you have the less than sign. If x is less than b, print true, else print false. So you may think, why is this important? Well, for an example, I recently, and I'll probably show you guys how to do this later on in the videos, I made a pre-qualification loan application app. And it used a lot of if and else statements, boolean statements, and it was comparing, depending how the individual responded and if it was true or false, it changed the route how the program will go. For example, say we'll make a quick little like voting program. Say John is 22 years of age. Say Bill is 15. Something very important too, as a programmer, you're going to be sharing your programs a lot with people. So it's always good to use comments. Pretty much when you use a hashtag mark, anything you type in front of that is commented, meaning it's visible to you, but it's not visible to the user. For example, comment. If I hit print John, that comment's not going to show. So it's always good to have comments. Now, the hashtag is for one-line comments. If you have multiple lines, say it's like a big comment you're going to do, you want to use 3 single quotation marks, and we'll use that. You always want to explain what your program is, so like the next person who's using your code is able to understand how the program's supposed to function. So we're making a quick pre-qualification age determining program to determine if this person's old enough to vote. So we'll say this program is meant to determine if candidates are old enough to vote. So we have John, who's 22, Bill is 15. This is where it goes to the conditional statements, if else statements. So we'll say voting age, and then we'll say in America you have to be 18 years old to vote. So if we'll say if John is greater than or equal to voting age, colon, print, you are old enough to vote. Else, print, you are too young. And once again, I want to show you this. We hit print. Obviously, John, his age is greater than 18. It's greater than, or if it's greater than or equal to the voting age, he qualifies to vote. Now, notice when I have you are old enough to vote in quotation mark, that prints the literal words. But if you notice here, I didn't have John or the voting age in quotation marks because they're not strings, they're variables. So it's comparing the values of what John and the voting age holds. Remember, John holds 22, voting age holds 18. So this is why if and else statements are important, because it compares the two. If this is true, the program goes this route. If this is false, the program goes another route. So that's why these are important.